Good morning. Yay. Happy Hump Day. It didn't take anywhere near as many cookie things. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Here we are. Hump Day Happy Chat starting now. Hump Day Happy Chat starting now. I'm wearing a hat. Yes, yes. And it's not because it's a bad hair day. It's just because I was reading a Friends magazine yesterday, shouting out to Sherry Richards and the Good Fat Life brand and Good Fat Life team and the Good Fat Life magazine. Oh, I can show it. Yay! So here's the Good Fat Life magazine. I love this brand. And why am I wearing a hat? I'll show you. Because there was an article on hats, and I love hats, and I realized how few times I actually put one on. And so I thought, well, I was inspired by this beautiful lifestyle magazine. And in case you didn't know, I'm going to show you that this thing is called a fascinator. I'd never heard of it. Are you fascinated to know that? I guess it's a fascinator, spelled Fascinator, which it's actually fastened onto a headband that goes on your head. So it's not necessarily like a full on, everything is covered hat, but it was kind of cool. So, anyways, that's the little sidebar on where did my hat come from. I was inspired by an article that I read in this magazine that I love. And I actually do get the hard copy magazine. It's really awesome. The pages are pretty, like I have a big need for like tactile experience. That's kinesthetics. And so I felt the same thing about my book. Like my book, which you can see in the background, has a matte feeling. It's got a matted cover, and I like matte better than gloss, and yada yada huda wada. So that's the deal with that. So there's my book. Hi, good morning, happy Hump Day. I'm Valerie Shepard, and you're joining me in the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And self-mastery, which you probably heard me say 1,000 times before, but it never hurts to say it once or twice more. It is mastering yourself. Noticing something on my desk. Mastering yourself in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way, whatever it brings, and whenever it brings those things into your situation. That's what we want to be able to do. At the root, at the very core of self mastery, are three principles, three areas of inquiry, three areas of study, three areas of practice. Self awareness, so understanding at a deeper level what's really going on in you as situations crop up in your life. Self awareness that's deeper than I like ice cream, or I like Rocky Road, or I like moose tracks. The other day, I indulged and got some green tea and honey. No, pistachio and honey ice cream. I haven't tried it yet, but it looked good, so I bought it. So, but it's deeper than that, right? That's a surface level of experience of your life. So, self awareness, going deep under the surface of you. Self acceptance. And I don't know about you, I wasn't really taught that very well. I don't think someone told me how not to accept myself necessarily, but I don't remember anyone necessarily teaching me in the moments of my life what self acceptance would look like, and what self acceptance would feel like, and what self acceptance would lead to. Like, to me, that's the center of this. That's why I'm teaching this, is because I got to a place in my life where I really was pretty clear that what wasn't going right in my life was partly because of these things missing. I didn't have great self awareness. I definitely didn't have self acceptance. And then the last of the three, the big three, is self love, um, which is all about unconditionally being a part of your life in the most positive way possible, And the really important words are no matter what. Hi, Tori. I'm so glad you're here. Yay from the Heaping Helpings of Happiness membership community. Love you, love you. Thank you so much for being here. I feel your presence, and it's awesome. So, today, the self mastery thing is really important. Uh, Believe it or not, there's so almost every time I look at my life when I felt like things were against me, the world, individual people, groups, when I felt isolated and alone, when I felt disconnected from the things that I wanted and I didn't understand why. When I go back in hindsight, obviously hindsight, you know a lot more now, but as I go back and look at what was going on then, um, almost I'll be bold. I'll be bold and say in every single case, uh, the dynamic was me. In every single case, the dynamic was me. And so why I teach this now is, oh, there's something I could have done differently. Uh, in love, in forgiveness, in okay, let's go play with that experiment, or as my book would say, let's go dance in that experiment. And so those three things combining to make self-mastery is where the real happiness that you desire and deserve is waiting for you. Because this is a reflective world, so it's showing us. So in your life, you are the biggest causal nature. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm acknowledging too that on this particular day, there is a lot of stuff going on in the outer world. It seems like almost every day there is some new level of fear that can erupt over some dynamic going on um, right now, whether it's politics or policy, whether it's the continuing issues of racial inequality and lack of social justice, whether there are obviously the surges in cases and hospitalizations and deaths related to the pandemic, or whether it's, you know, assaults on healthcare in a different area, whatever it is. Worried about jobs, worried about 401ks, worried about so many things. There's so many things calling for our attention in a very negative way. And that can be really tough. And I will still maintain that happiness is possible regardless of those outside circumstances. You just have to believe it and connect to it, practice being that, and then go about doing what you need to do in the midst of those outward circumstances. But no matter what, anchoring yourself in love and light and peace and joy and freedom. And so for me, uh, there's a statement that my spiritual advisor has said to me in the past when I want to shift this for myself. So I make a commitment to see with my spiritual knowing, to see my world through the lenses of my spiritual knowing, not just my human knowing. As an integrated spiritual human person, I have tended to focus on the human stuff. And the human stuff is the five senses. I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I touch, or I feel with my epidermis. And that's only a limited view of life. And if you've spent any amount of time with me, you know that I preach this and we're going to hammer into it all the time. But it's about going beyond the human. It's not an either or, it's a both and. That's what the integration means. Can I bring the realm that is not necessarily seeable, touchable, feelable in this moment, although I can touch it and feel it when you get really practiced, and it's beautiful. Can I bring that into this realm and enhance my experience here, no matter what's going on somewhere else? The other thing, good morning, I see you. Thank you for being here. I'm just checking what's going on in different places. Um, so I'm coming back to you now. So there are three things that I really do. One is belief. Here's a believe. Belief in a kind and loving universe. It's an omnipotent, omnipresent consciousness. I uh, refer to that consciousness as God, conspiring in my favor at all times. Even when I don't understand it, even when I don't see it and don't really get it. Like, even then, even then. Another thing that I do is I have faith that I'm not alone and that I'm being supported with guidance and sustenance and opportunities for joy at all times. I'm always in the space of receiving loving kindness, that I have causal ability to create and affect all areas in my life as a co-creator. So that keeps me in the space of, okay, I've got superiority over this feeling of chaos happening all the time and nothing I can do about it. I don't want to just be at effect, just sitting there taking it. I want to know that I have some responsibility, authority, and seniority in my life to create it the way I'd like it to show up. And so that's really important, especially now, because right now what I feel is like I hear a lot more buts. I hear a lot more buts, in conversation in my head. I feel. Do you ever feel this like stutter step? So in times like these, you hear these buts, like, I thought this, but then that happened. I wanted this, but then those got in my way. I was going to do these things, but I couldn't because they, dot, 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 fill in the blank. So, but what does it really mean? Like, let's get clear on the word. If we're using it, we should know what effect it has, right? Words, thoughts have causal, energetic nature, and they are creating after their kind, okay? Law of attraction. You are creating as you think. And the longer you think energetically, so that means not just your conscious thoughts, but whatever you're putting out subconsciously is being created. So when we hear the word but, this is why the individual words are important. So there are several meanings of the word but. When I look at the two that are most important for this conversation, the conjunction of but, which is used to introduce a phrase or a clause contrasting with what has already been mentioned. It's a reversal. Or used to introduce a phrase or clause contrasting with anything that you've already said, like moving in a different direction. As a noun, it's an argument against something. A but is an objection as a noun. So think about this. In your world, every time you're saying something about yourself, something that you want, something that you need, something that you desire, something that would be fun, and you follow it with a but, you're actually erasing it. You're putting a big X on it. So you're reversing yourself. You're actually keeping yourself locked in the state before. You're keeping yourself locked in a place where what you think is going to happen, what you want, you're actually telling it no. I want this, but, and then the answer is not right now. No, because I want this, but I don't think I should have it. I want this, but no, I don't think I should have it because. But if you notice them in everyday language when you're having a conversation, have you ever noticed that right after you say but, the other person who you're talking to doubles down on whatever it is they wanted to share with you? Why? Because but signals that you're not with them at all. But signals that you're telling them, no, we're not going to do it that way. But signals it can't happen the way you've originally talked. I would say I'm sorry, but well, that basically means I'm not sorry. So we have to start noticing these little teeny words that have humongous, super humongous meaning and energetic influence on our lives. So remember, you hear every word you say and think. I might not hear your thoughts, but I guarantee you, you hear your conscious thoughts. Your body can feel the intention even underneath the words. So at times, it's not about the specific words that you're saying. Your body can feel the intention underneath those words. That's what I mean when I say it's actually not just your conscious thoughts, it's also the rest of your being that's putting out a vibration in the world. And if you're at cross purposes, you're not sending a message that the universe, which is always conspiring in your favor, can really understand. That's why some people are like, but I thought I was doing this. So why is that showing up? I've been saying I want this, and then that showed up. I said I wanted a guy like this, and then this showed up, right? I wanted this kind of job, and then I got that kind of job. Well, it could be because we're not in alignment. Excuse me. We're not 100% in alignment. So, how do you help yourself get into alignment? So, think about this. You hear every word you say, every but, when you're putting a but on yourself, you're doing a stutter step. It's like, I'm moving forward, but oh, no, I'm not. I'm going over that up, but no, I'm not. I want, no, oh, no, I don't. So, you start moving in a certain direction, and then you, not the outside influences, you turn yourself around. You cut off the flow forward higher of the energy. That's you. And in my life, it was me. Self-awareness. Now, a lot of people take the self-awareness of, oh, I'm butting myself. I'm shooting myself, right? I'm butting myself. They take the self-awareness and they turn that into little missiles of anger, frustration, resentment, and they shoot them right at themselves. I shouldn't be doing that. Well, there's a should. That doesn't serve you. The most important thing when you notice, oh, I'm out of alignment with my higher good. I'm out of alignment with my highest self. I'm out of alignment with the divine conspiring for me. I'm out of alignment with my life loving on me. I'm out of alignment with my angels and guardians and all the good juju in the universe that's trying to glom onto me like a barnacle on a boat. Notice we're out of alignment and let's shift. With a smile on your face and love in your heart. Forgiveness. I forgive myself. I didn't really mean that. I always say cancel clear. When I really catch myself in a powerfully debilitating, self debilitating place, I cancel clear. Take it back. Whoops. Never happened. Well, whoop, forget that. You can do it. Cancel clear. And then let's keep going back in the same direction. So the buts come out of our language, and rather than conditioning yourself over and over by your own language to hold yourself back, you want to free yourself into possibility energetics, possibility conscious thinking, possibility resonance. The field of possibilities is there. Pure potentiality. Field of pure potentiality is waiting for you to step in and make your desires known and then hold fast to them from a place of yes and. The number one rule in improv comedy, I'm an improv comedian on leave of absence from my troupe, multi-award winning Improv City, shouting out to directors, founder, creator, and director Devin Dugan and Gina Dugan, who run Improv City. If you need something to do in a virtual way on a Friday or Saturday night, there are virtual improv comedy shows that Improv City puts on. They're really cool. I never thought I would watch a virtual improv and actually enjoy it, but I had a lot of fun, and I'll put the link in the comments if you want to take a look. They're really awesome. So, Devin and Gina taught me masterfully how to employ the concept of yes and. So I eliminate this reversal that I'm doing on myself, this way that I tell myself, no, you're wrong. No, you can't have that. No, that's not a good thought. No, you shouldn't be acting that way. I tell myself, oh, yes, Here's what I want to do. So the yes and is powerful. It's freeing. It releases you from telling yourself no right after you told yourself yes. So you stop doing this. You the more you employ this and release yourself from the but in your life, the more you employ this, the more you will feel in the flow. The more you will see things showing up differently, and the more you will feel like you're moving instead of standing still wondering what's holding you back, when energetically it's you, when energetically we've gotten in our own way, right? So this is how you get to see, am I allowing, like before you can even take the first step, you have to allow yourself, you have to allow for it. You have to be, you, not you have, let's take that back, cancel clear. I invite and encourage you to notice that before you can actually move forward physically, you have to be allowed to. Now, wonder if the buts that you're putting in your life are actually anchoring you where you really are intending not to be anymore. Interesting concept. So, look at those first phrases that we started with at the beginning. I thought this, and now I've got new information and I'm thinking this. Or I thought this, and I'm seeing how that plays out, even though other people don't always agree with me. The and. Do you feel the flow? Sometimes it takes me a couple seconds to frame what I want to say that is still in the energy of two things. I showed this one earlier. Now there are two here. Yes and belief. Believe. Like, how do I frame things in my life in yes energy and in belief energy? That's possibility energy. The world is created by thought first. Consciousness is there. Ha ha ha. Deep. We're going deep. So, next one. I wanted this, and instead of the but, we use and. I wanted this, and I'm noticing this is happening, and maybe this is possible now. I wanted this, and I'm noticing a situation, or I'm noticing it's not here yet, and I still want it and believe it's possible. Uh-huh. Yes. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you being here. Rachel's here every single week like clockwork. Shout out to Rachel. Everybody give her a thumbs up. Come on in. Whether you can come once or join Rachel and me every week, doesn't matter. Just come play in the Hump Day Happy Chat land. I was going to do these things, and I couldn't get to them, and so now I'm doing these things. So the idea doesn't have to completely change. You're just changing the direction. The but turns you around. The and keeps you going. Just keeps you going. You'll hear the fluidity. So I even say now, I do my best not to use the words I'm late, because those words resonate very negatively for me. I come from a military household, and being on time is like, it's better to be 30 minutes early than a minute late. So late is like a negative energetic thing for me. So I changed my phraseology. I now say I intended to be there at 10, and I've changed my arrival time to 10:15. And I do my best. It's rare for me to say I'm running late. I try to say, I practice saying I'm adjusting my arrival time, or I'm adjusting my departure time. So this part of self-mastery, remember we started with self-awareness as an anchor point, is knowing the things that upset you, knowing the things that give you a little bit of brrr, as my dear friend Dr. Sean Duperrin would say, brrr, perturbation going on. It's a Buckminster Fuller concept that's going on inside you. When you notice that that's coming up with certain words, why would you use those words? You don't want to create that as you're creating. create that in here as you're wanting to create out there. The but could be a beautiful thing that you release from your language forever, forever, and ever, and ever, and ever. Because you don't need it. You really could do it differently. Yay. So that's today's Hump Day Happy Chat. I know I said I would, but no, I know that I said I would, and now I've got a different perspective that's leading me to say this. So you can hear that I'm still changing. I'm not using a word that actually means stop going in this direction and go back to where you were. Isn't it beautiful how our words, when we really get clear on what they actually mean and how we use them, even colloquialisms have deeper meaning that we need to understand before we put in play in our lives, before we put into motion as a co-creator, a co-conspirator in the joy that you're creating in your life. Yay. So I encourage and invite you to notice. It's the number one thing that contributes to this anchor point of self-awareness. Notice. Notice what's going on with you. Notice the opportunities provided to you, showing up in your life. And believe it or not, it could be that the opportunity is right in the middle of something you're watching out there that irks you, that saddens you, that frightens you. Notice the possibility and the opportunity for you to still have the happiness that you seek, for you to pick it, choose it in the midst of whatever else is going on. Yay. That's today's Hump Day Happy Chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Valerie Shepard. I'm going to sign off here from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery with the metta prayer, the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha, the Karnaya Metta Sutra. I hope you're into this by now. It's wonderful to put this energy in the world, especially when you remember that it includes you. This is how you're giving while you're opening yourself up to receiving. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings awaken. May all beings be happy. Yay. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, your true nature. You're an integrated spiritual human person. When you bring your spirituality into the mix of your creation ability, you take everything to a new level of possibility and eventuality. Yeah, coolness. And may all beings be free. Emotional freedom is the realm of possibility where you let go of any old resentments, guilt, shame, blame, and sit in the space of yes and harmony and unconditional love. And then you are most free and unencumbered from moving to your highest plane. Yay, yay. Many blessings. I would love it if you, sometimes if you want to type in your name and you're here, a hello. If you have a question, I can either answer you in the comments or I'm happy to talk with you offline. And here's my heartfelt invitation. I am relaunching my nonprofit Hearts Awakening. And one of the ways we're getting it going is we are serving while we raise money. And so the service is through my online members only community called Heaping Helpings of Happiness, or H cubed for short. And there are all kinds of benefits at different membership levels. And it's a way for us to be in this conversation of being happy more than the Hump Day Happy Chat. It's actually every week there's multiple things going out. And the best thing is while you're receiving, you're giving to help relaunch and fortify and bless um, the people that we want to serve through Hearts Awakening. So you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Valerie Shepherd, and you'll see the Heaping Helpings of Happiness page. And if it's not the right time for you to join, maybe you can share it with others and they can get some benefit while they contribute to benefiting others. Heartfelt thanks. Love you. Many blessings. Bye now.